Hi guys. Hey, Cancerians. Cancerians, I am so sorry that I was away for quite some time because I was on vacation. My mama came to town for a week, and then after that, my sister came to town with my niece, and so I've just been gone for quite a bit. So I didn't get zodiacs out for anybody. It was very intermittent for anything over the last week and a half, but I'm back now. So Cancerians, let me try to make a little bit of my MIA up to you. All right. So we start with the star. Nikki O. Hi, sweetheart. So nice to hang out with you tonight, babe. So we're starting out, and I'm going to go ahead and just touch base on the topic of love for Cancerian, whomever it is thinking about Cancer. That's what I did for all the other zodiacs. But we have the star. The star card is Aquarius energy, and I always look at this as it could be somebody at a distance who's God, wishing that they could say all these words. I always look at that waterfall as just like words pouring from somebody's lips. Somebody who would love to be able to just talk and talk, all night. Somebody who thinks either Cancer is very intelligent and has lots of amazing things to say. I don't know. I'm picturing literally like two people sitting at a kind of like an outdoor patio or something and just talking. Like I don't know if there's like little overhead like naked hanging light bulbs or what, but just sitting and maybe someplace near a creek side or something, but sitting outdoors and just talking. Now I'm picturing two people in like those Adirondack chairs, like in little puffy jackets, staying warm, but just kicking it and just talking and talking all night. This feels like somebody just wants to be around Cancer. And literally, we have Cancer next with that Chariot card. Dolphins are really communicative, really chatty. So I can see why we've got all of these like words. Um, but this is fun. I want to play. I want to talk. I also want to talk sexy talk because dolphins are quite sensual little creatures as well. We've got the Ace of Pentacles upright also. Ace of Pentacles is new beginnings. We have the big koi fish on this, and koi fish can talk about, well, fish in general can talk about wealth. It can talk about, like, this could be somebody who wants to, like, talk about everything under the sun with Cancerian, but also have a new beginning. Let's build something. Let's bounce ideas off of one another about businesses we could build together, things we could do together. It's very much somebody who wants to have like long-term plans that they talk about with Cancer. I don't think that this person is like, I'm just attracted to Cancer because I want somebody who looks like they'd be good in business. I don't mean it like that. But, when you develop like an attraction for somebody and you think they're really brilliant and there's, like they inspire you and you want to bounce all kinds of ideas off of them, it's natural to like think of somebody that you're attracted to and would want a serious connection with to be a part of every aspect of your life, dreams, goals. And the star can also be dreams, wishes and goals. Let's talk about where we want to live someday. Let's talk about the business we want to start someday. It just feels like this person has hung a lot of their hopes on Cancer really being the one for them. This feels like somebody who wants to talk about new beginnings and what that would look like. Okay, so we have a marriage card coming out. Maybe they want to float the idea of marriage with Cancerian. It is sideways, so it could be like, what are your views on long-term commitment? What are your views on marriage? It doesn't have to be like they're on one knee proposing, but more like they want to hear what Cancer thinks about the institution of marriage, perhaps. I'm going to really only read this. This card can be read in a couple different ways, as all cards can be, but this only speaks of marriage to me in this particular deck right now. So I would definitely say that they are thinking very heavily about, I think I'd like to ask Cancer about their views on marriage. We got the Emperor upright, and we've got like this male lion approaching his, lioness. There's babies back there. I kind of get a vibe though that if Cancer has been like a single parent, it feels like they were becoming upon a lioness and saying, I wonder if they feel very open. Let's just put it this way. If Cancer already has kids or something that are not theirs, this character is like, yeah, that's great. That's like a ready-made family that I could step into, depending upon how Cancer feels about all that. But this just feels like somebody who's so serious. He's carrying the Ankh, you know, the symbol of life in the Egyptian culture. And it just kind of feels like he is so ready for a different life, for something that's grounding. I'm going to say him just because of that emperor energy. That's very, you know, classic male archetype. It's a father figure. It's a, you know, a husband material. It's somebody who views themselves as, you know, the energy of the sun, the divine masculine, a protector, a leader, you know, but the best version of that, you know, someone who's fair and balanced, somebody who sees themselves as, you know, wanting to be, you know, the other half of a really powerful power couple, and someone who wants his divine counterpart. So if you're the energy of the sun, then you know your divine counterpart is the energy of the moon. And it just kind of feels like I would very much love to be connected to Cancerian, because everything here says they see Cancerian as their equal, their counterpart. They want a very serious long-term commitment. Is this somebody who has ever hinted at this before? Is this going to like blow Cancer out of the water? Synchronicity is sideways, so it's there's a shared energy where both people are thinking along the same lines. I kind of think maybe this could be coming on a little fast, but it looks like both of them are like, God, there's so many weird things. If they do have this long conversation, I could see these two talking about things and saying like, wait a second, you know, my aunt, how have you met my aunt? And it's like, oh, because, you know, my sister's cousin went to school with your aunt. And so kind of weirdly, like our families have circled around. Hell, I mean, I've heard stories about you. I just didn't know that you were the you that I've heard about. It feels like they could have these really odd, you know, serendipitous, like lives that have kind of paralleled each other. And I say it that way because we have this angel statue holding the sun, and then in the sky, we can see again, like the image of an angel with wings mirrored in the clouds. And it just kind of feels like these two are going to find that they have a lot more in common, that maybe they have, you know, danced around each other and almost met many times, or it's going to be, you know, just interesting little things. It's like, oh, well, my license plate is, you know, 2VR, whatever, and theirs is like, you know, VR2 or something. It feels like they're going to be like inverted mirror images of each other, or there's going to be things in one another's life that it's like, wow, this is almost eerie how right this feels, or how many things feel like we click, or like you're the peanut butter to my jelly. You know, you have this skill set and I have this skill set, and they complement each other. Look, whomever this is, they're looking at Cancerian right out of the gate as somebody that they could build a life with, somebody they could build a future with, a business with, have as a friend, as a lover, somebody they want to talk to all the time. All that. I don't think that this is just like, oh, it's the honeymoon phase, and so like everything you do is so alluring. There's a much more like grounded energy here, and a much more serious um, intention on all of this that comes with serious grown up, you know, ideas, not just like honeymoon. We're not just falling in love and it's, you know, we have nothing in common, but we're both super attracted to each other. That is not what we see here. We see like a real foundation, but it also comes with some really interesting, like the way these two lives are almost already being knitted together, and they both kind of know it. Okay, they don't just kind of know it. We've got the Seven of Cups and it spun around, it landed and it did a spin and ended upside down. So we have no confusion, we have only clarity here. Upright, it would have been like, oh, I don't know, maybe I feel the same way, but maybe not. Maybe this could go in a lot of different directions. Nope. Even Cancerian, I think, is on board with this. Like it's like when two people just kind of know that something has clicked and they just align. And I think the more they talk, the more obvious it is, the more comfortable it is, the more each one of them just kind of feels like, yeah, this works, this is right. Embodiment of cups. We have the seahorses, and they do mate for life. And the seahorses are little nose to nose here. Cancerian right now is showing up as a divine masculine because this is a King of Cups card, but it doesn't really matter how we see this. They've come across as an emperor. Now we have a king of cups. It's more like, I would say this is Cancer saying, I know exactly where I want to go. I know exactly where my emotions are taking me, where my heart is taking me. I don't think that this long conversation is going to have too many twists and turns or surprises in it at all. But I just want to know, is this like, has Cancer already been dating this person and is just starting to get like really, really good? Or is this a fairly new person? We have the Three of Wands and it's in the reverse. So this is not somebody up ahead in the future. I always look, if the Three of Wands is in the reverse, I feel like it's in, present time. Two of Pentacles sideways. Again, everything keeps looking like it's shared energy for two individuals. Sun in the reverse. So maybe the fact that these two meet each other at all, this just feels like this is in like the next 48 hours or something. This isn't even, because normally I look at the Three of Wands, it's like 3 days to 3 months, but this, we just shortened it up to like the present timeline. And it just looks like in this story, I don't know if both of them are actually having kind of a crappy day, if a few things go wrong, and that winds up like they would not expect to meet. This is not like, oh, I'm going out on this date with this person that, I know I'm going out with them. This all feels like it's completely out of the blue, but things really don't go that right for either person. Maybe they both wind up, whatever, stuck at the same bus stop because, the bus that they're supposed to catch doesn't show up on time. It's getting rerouted. Maybe it's, a flight is delayed for these two and they never would have had a conversation otherwise. And something that starts out as like, well, this sucks, turns out to be perfectly synchronistic for them. It's like, I wasn't even supposed to be here today. And yet here I am. And now the bus is broken down and now I'm stuck, but that's how I'm meeting you today. It feels like this is so perfectly orchestrated. Universe, do you have a hand in this? Because remember, on that synchronicity card, we have the angel there. Four of Pentacles, this is part of their tree of life. I kind of think that this indicates, because we have this little squirrel and he's been, tucking his acorns into this knot in the tree. Saving up for a rainy day, saving up for a rainy day. But meanwhile, the tree of life just keeps growing and growing and going way higher up. I almost think, this is not to be rude to Cancer or anything, or to this emperor, but if perhaps both of them tend to work too much to even enjoy the fruits of their labor. And so, these two could both have been single for quite some time. They're always busy working on, saving for tomorrow and missing out on some of the fun they could have today. It's not that they're hoarders or anything. It's more like they make prudent decisions, but sometimes, you can be a little too prudent and you forget what you're saving for, because you're always busy just, doing things in the present moment, not taking any days off, letting those vacation days stack up, not ever taking time to just go out and play and get off of a, like a rhythm or something that you've been on. And meanwhile, life keeps growing and the tree of life keeps growing. And it's like, you're meant for wonderful companionship and, wonderful romance and all these things. But maybe right now, all they've had in their life has been a lot of work, just very dedicated, very hardworking individuals who needed the universe to kind of come in and be like, okay, we're going to shove you out of your comfort zone a little bit. We're going to bog you down. We know you had a plan to, work 80 hours this week, but you know what? Maybe the power is going to go out and you guys are going to have an unexpected day off. And that's how you meet this person. It kind of feels like the universe is conspiring just a little bit to kind of help them, break free of a pattern. We have a Six of Pentacles. I definitely think Cancer and this person are both very dedicated, hardworking individuals. And they possibly very financially savvy as well, not spendthrifts. Maybe that's why we have the big fish here. I mean, both of them could potentially have built up quite a tidy little savings account. And they're like, yeah, I pretend I don't have a savings account because that's the whole point, is for saving. I don't touch it. I just let it to, grow because I'm thinking about the future. It just kind of says that that also could be like a very appealing to Cancer in this person, that, wow, so you're very frugal as well. So am I, but together they can continue to be frugal. And we're not knocking that, but they can also, like, it could be very appealing if they both have the same mindset around, building a good life and working hard. It's like, wow, we could double what we're doing together. And that, look, it's nice to match with somebody, even in your views of like finances and, what your big goals are in life. We see first and foremost that there's attraction and respect for one another's mind and intellect, but then also the appeal of how we could build businesses together. And now that I see there is a money component to this, a hardworking component for Cancer and this individual, that they share that kind of like same mentality, I could see how they'd be amazing as partners, as life partners. That actually looks beautiful, just absolutely beautiful. But I will say that this is an unusual way for Cancer to like meet someone, because it says it doesn't start out as a good day. It's with that, the Sun card in the reverse. It could be kind of a crummy day that's going to turn good when these two unexpectedly meet each other. But it still is, it's nice to get out of a routine a little bit. And I don't know that Cancer would meet this person unless there was a serendipitous, flow where the universe was assisting a little bit. All right, you guys, I'm going to leave this one here. Thank you so much for being here. Empress Unicorn 111. Hey, darling. Astrodnoid. Awesome. Good to see you, sweetheart. Bogdanka. Always a pleasure to catch you, hun. And Nikki, oh, thank you again. Nice to hang out with all of you tonight. All right, sending you guys lots of love. GOC1OP. Hi. Thanks for being here. Glad I got to say hi to you before we sign out. All right, you guys, take care. Bye for now.